Well, a happy Tuesday to you. The Seahawks defense has been receiving high praise for their play during the team's current 4-game winning streak. Seattle's coming off Sunday's 30-18 win over Arizona, a game in which Seattle's defense held Kyler Murray in check, intercepting him twice and sacking him 2 times. Coach Mike Macdonald, who calls the defensive plays during the game, says that side of the ball has improved its communication greatly since the bye week. They've also added middle linebacker Ernest Jones to the mix, who received the play calls from Macdonald in his helmet. He says it's great having Coach in his ear throughout the game.
I wish y'all could have a day in the life of being in the headset. It's fun. It's fun. He's always talking to me. I always say it's almost like he's the first DC I've had that's been in the game with us. It's like he's playing linebacker right next to us. He sees it through our lens, and he kind of knows what's coming next, and he's been great at it.
Well, I hope he doesn't mind it, because sometimes I can't help myself. I try to stay calm. I mean, just try to stay calm based off the situation. It's tricky because sometimes because of, like, after a stoppage or something like that, you have more time when the offense lines up or what you're thinking, and more of like a high leverage situations. And there's a lot of times where, the 15 seconds are up and, we're out of luck and they just got to go play. So I'm sure there's some times where he wants me to be quiet so we can just go play. So we'll work through those times.
On his radio show Monday morning, Coach Macdonald talked about his communication style when it comes to coaching. He told Seahawks beat reporter Maz Vida he wants to be direct.
Hit me right between just hit me between the eyes instead of don't beat around the bush on how you're making points. Just kind of tell me what you're thinking. We'll take the emotion out of it and let's just talk about it rather than wasting a bunch of time talking about a bunch of fluff.
How have you been able to build trust and integrity so that can happen and you can move with the players and the organization focused on the ultimate goal?
Well, I think there's a consistency piece that really matters. If you're just like we talk about integrity throughout, people have talked about accountability and stuff like that. Remember, I was talking about, hey, I'd rather use the term integrity. Hey, we're going to do what we say what we're going to do and what we're going to be about, and we're going to back it up through our actions. So I think just as a coach and as a leader, and the players too, like having conversations where you're creating an environment where you feel like you're heard and you're valued, and you're making the decisions that are best for the team, and that kind of decision criteria is consistent on what's driving on what you're doing on kind of a per decision basis. Hopefully, I think this is true, that the guys respect that, and that builds trust, as you're consistent over time.
Seattle's preparing for a showdown with the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football this week. A national audience will be watching on NBC as the Hawks try to win their 5th straight game. Well, it's East versus West in men's college basketball tonight. The Eastern Washington Eagles are at Alaska Airlines Arena at Heck Edmondson Pavilion to face the Washington Huskies. Game set to tip at 8 o'clock. That'll be on the Big Ten Network. Well, the Seattle Kraken begin a 4-game homestand against Florida tonight. The Panthers come to Climate Pledge Arena holding down first place in the Atlantic Division of the NHL. Florida 17-9-2. Meanwhile, the Kraken are 6th in the Pacific Division at 14-14-1. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock. The game's broadcast on Kong TV. The Wenatchee Wild are trying to shake the hangover of a 3-game losing streak tonight. The Wild are in Kent to face the Seattle Thunderbirds at the ShoWare Center. Austin Drade says the two teams have played some close games in the 3 they've played so far.
We took on the Thunderbirds about 3 weeks ago, got them to a shootout on Thanksgiving Eve. So, no, it's a game that we should be right in as long as we play everything correctly, and a group that, if we get off to a good start, we take advantage on power plays. I think this is definitely a game that we can win. We've gotten points against Seattle in the last 4 games in a row. No reason not to make it 5 tonight.
Drade was a guest on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this morning with Dan Kuntz. The NCWLIFE channel host asked Austin what's been going on with Wenatchee's inability to get to the win column lately. Drade says, well, it has everything to do with who they're playing.
That was one weekend for these guys against 2 really, really strong teams. We talk about how good the U.S. division is this year. The top 3 teams in the Western Conference and the top team in the WHL among that, they're all in the U.S. division right now. So every game lately has been against one of those top 3 teams, and the Wild will see another one of those teams on Friday night. So it's I think you're just running into a lot of really good teams right now. These guys are putting in the work. There's no doubt about that. But every so often there will be a mistake, a miscue, a bad bounce that breaks through, and the teams that we're playing right now are teams that will take advantage of it.
Wenatchee and Seattle drop the puck tonight at 7:05. You can hear Austin's call locally on radio at 560 KPQ. Well, it's a busy prep basketball schedule across the region tonight. In girls play, Quincy's hosting Kittitas. Kashmir opens up SCAC play at Zillam. Moses Lake visits Hanford. Tonasket travels to Kittitas Falls. Brewster hosts Reardon. Liberty Bell plays at Okanagan. Bridgeport hosts Entiat. The Lake Roosevelt girls are in Pateros. Manson welcomes Soap Lake. Oroville visits Republic. Waterville Mansfield plays host to Wilbur Creston Keller. The boys' schedule includes Garden City Academy at Easton. Moses Lake's hosting Ellensburg. Quincy welcomes Kittitas. Kashmir's at Zilla at 7:15. The 7:30 games have Tonasket at Kittitas Falls. Brewster hosts Reardon. Okanagan welcomes Liberty Bell. Entiat's at Bridgeport. Manson entertains Soap Lake, and Oroville visits Republic. Well, Big 9 Wrestling will be center stage tomorrow night on the NCWLIFE channel. Eastmont is hosting Moses Lake at Eastmont High School. I'll be on the call with former wrestling coach and official Dave Granstrom. He also happens to be my dad. We'll have the pregame at about 6:45 tomorrow night right here on the NCWLIFE channel. That's sports news. Have a happy Tuesday.